when you're in the military, basic training, you get indoctrinated to the ways of being a warrior. There really is no downtime for when you become a civilian. You get your DD-214, they kind of high-five you, say, hey, man, go on your way.
Right.
We see that a lot of guys are committing suicide, a lot of guys are homeless because that transition is not easy.
What's going on, guys? Time for another episode of Behind the Uniforms. If you've never seen the show before, I don't know what rock you've been hiding under, but here's how we roll. We invite emergency responders and veterans on. They tell you about a good day, about a bad day over a glass of whiskey. We keep a bottle and an empty glass here at all times in honor of those who will never be able to come tell their story because they made the ultimate sacrifice. You guys share this video because that's what patriotic Americans do. Tell them all who you are.
Yes, how's it going, guys? My name is Jon Jackson. I'm the executive director of Stag Vets and the founder of Comfort Farms in Middle Georgia. We reside in Milledgeville, Georgia, and I run a farm that focuses on agro-cognitive behavioral therapy.
I invited you, not this heat. What the hell is this?
The heat.
It's like 400 degrees. It feels like Atlanta in here, man.
It is hot. It is pretty hot.
Let's talk a little bit about your background.
Okay, so recently medically retired from the 75th Ranger Regiment in 2015, January 2015. Did 6 combat tours, 2 to Iraq, 4 to Afghanistan. I spent some time in the conventional army with the 3rd ID Infantry 115.
Awesome. You want to talk first about a good day or about a bad day, and then we'll plug the nonprofit a little bit.
Yeah, man, there's so many. You know, it's like how do you choose? But there's some that stick out. I'll talk about one of my baddest days that I've had was after being in Iraq for my first 9 months. You know, back in 2005, kind of been in heavy combat for, I would say, 4 out of 6 days out of the week that we were out, and for 9 months we did that. And I finally got a chance to go home on R&R, you know, go back, and we were sitting down in where was it, Anaconda, right? We're sitting in Anaconda waiting to go home, and the crew come out and they said, hey, we're gonna have to cut this flight, you know, everybody's gonna have to cut this flight because we're bringing home the fallen. And so I think there was a Marine outfit, snipers that actually got compromised. You know, a bunch of these guys end up getting ambushed and killed, and they had to go home, so everybody had to make room. So instead of cutting people, they asked, you know, who wants to volunteer? Who wouldn't mind going back to fly with the fallen? And me and 2 other guys raised our hands, and everybody else pretty much they stayed in the fob. They said no, they didn't want to go back, and I was just kind of like, man, it's an honor, you know, to fly back with these guys. And me and a sergeant major looked at each other and said, you know, let's go. And so I walked on that plane, and the casket, American flag draped. I can smell the formaldehyde sitting at my feet, and we flew home, and I just watched, thinking about that Marine that was in that casket. You know, we're both going home. You know, it was really weird, because I could have been that guy in the actual casket. I was thinking about his family. I was thinking about his unit. I was thinking about a whole bunch of things. And the only thing that really stuck out in my mind was that I was coming back to this and could be going back home like this. You know, it wasn't over with me. So it just helped to keep my mind right. But from that point onward, the reality of war was, you know, I lost a lot of guys during the fight, but flying home with, you know, a fallen comrade was pretty tough.
Talk to me about a good day.
Good day, okay. I don't know many good days in war. We have fun, but I will tell you, back at home, with the work that I do with the nonprofit, seeing guys on the edge who are about to start a shotgun, or pulling them from that and saying, hey, you know, getting them back to their life. We had one Marine, you know, who was out in the bush, ready to kill himself. We were able to get him through another nonprofit, Warrior Farms up in Georgia. They were able to kind of locate this guy. Did a proper handoff with me. I sat with this individual for about 6 to 8 months, just really steady working with him and getting him back to where he needed to go. We stopped a lot of our personal work because, when that vet comes, we have to just go in it hard. I will tell you that guy at that point lost his family. He lost his life. He didn't have any direction. I will tell you that today, seeing pictures of him and his daughter and his wife on vacation with a job, with a sense of purpose, sense of community, giving back is probably one of the happiest moments of my life, just to actually see that, hard work, sticking it in for a brother, and many like him to actually do great things again. It really makes, that's what gets me up in the morning to keep on going.
Hear, hear.
Cheers. Man.
Tell me a little bit about the nonprofit.
All right. All right, so Comfort Farms, named after my Ranger buddy, Collie Comfort, got killed in combat on May 8, 2010. When I came out, I kind of realized that there's so many different things that we do in our military culture, like naming gyms, naming roads, naming, bunkers, all kind of stuff we name after our fallen. And one of the things that I decided to do was I wanted to get an informant as a way of outreach, and so I decided that I was going to name these farms after our fallen. And I started going around with different type of things, and I said, my Ranger buddy Kyle, he died, and things like that. And I said I would love to honor him, honor so many. And I start going over through it in the back of my mind, and I said, hey, Comfort Farms, Comfort Farms. Wow, that's kind of like a double meaning. And it's funny because we've had international recognition, national recognition coming to farm. Andrew Zimmerman has been in our farm, did a show,
Nice.
You can find on the Civil War episode of from last year's show. People come in and they're like, wow, Comfort Farms is a place for vets. And then they find out that it's in honor of Captain Kyle A. Comfort. So there's that meaning that goes along with that. What we do at the farm is focus more on covert curriculum. So when you go to when you're in the military basic training, you get indoctrinated to the ways of being a warrior. There really is no downtime when you become a civilian. You get your DD-214, they kind of high-five you, say, hey, man, go on your way.
Right.
Well, what was that process for you to become a civilian? Pretty much nothing. Your DD-214 go throughout your way. We see that a lot of guys are committing suicide. A lot of guys are homeless because that transition is not easy. So what Comfort Farm seeks to do is to actually help that process a little bit better. I get a lot of guys that come to the farm, they say, man, I don't care about farming, but I wish that I could do this for one whole year just to kind of reset, reorganize, reassess my life, and then move forward. And that's pretty much what we provide. The farm is ran as a business, even though we're a nonprofit, to include structure, because that's what we need. And also we have one mission, and that's to feed America. And not just feed America, but bring back rural prosperity to rural America. Our rural America is being diminished because there really is not a voice talking for many small family farms. And Comfort Farms, Stag Vets, my nonprofit, realizes that in the next 10 years, small family farms are going to be diminished. And so what we need to do is find ways on how do we connect the bridge back from rural America to more places that are prosperous. And we can do that by growing food.
Awesome, man. How can people learn more?
You can go to our website at Stag Vets Inc., www.stagvetsinc.org. Follow us. We have a very active Facebook page at Comfort Farms, the farm. And on Instagram, you can find us on Instagram at Comfort Farms and Stag Vets as well.
Brother, thank you for joining me. It was a pleasure and an honor to meet you. Guys, it takes you 2 seconds to hit the damn share button on the video. Please do it if you're a patriot. Thanks all for watching. God bless America.